Long ago, hidden from mortal eyes, there lay a secret land called Evermere, a place where dreams blossomed into flowers and stardust drifted through the air like gentle snow. This realm floated just beyond the veil of human perception, nestled between the last light of twilight and the first sigh of dawn. Evermere was the home of the Fae, ancient beings with wings like lace and hearts full of old magic. Among them lived Princess Elara, a fairy of rare beauty and even rarer power. Her wings shimmered like the morning dew, and her laughter could cause wildflowers to bloom. She was beloved by all, yet she longed for something she couldn't name, a feeling that often kept her perched on her moonlit balcony, staring toward the unseen world of mortals. "Why do I feel there is more than this?" she whispered one night as her silver eyes scanned the darkened horizon. In the human world, nestled in the ancient village of Alderwin, lived a young musician named Caelum. He played a violin carved from the wood of a lightning-struck tree, and when he played, even the wind would stop to listen. Though humble, his music held magic of its own, music he did not understand but felt in his bones. One fateful evening, as Caelum played near the edge of the forest, his melody reached across the veil of realms. The notes threaded their way into Evermere, tugging at Elara's soul like a forgotten lullaby. She followed the sound. In a whirl of soft wind and falling petals, Elara crossed the veil. Hidden behind a willow, she watched Caelum. He played with closed eyes, pouring his heart into every note. And when he opened them, his gaze met hers, eyes of stardust meeting eyes of earth. In that moment, time forgot to move. Elara visited Caelum night after night. She told him stories of Evermere, and he played songs that brought tears to her eyes. They fell in love in stolen hours, two souls from different worlds, bound by something deeper than magic. But love between fairy and mortal was forbidden. The queen of Evermere, Titanthea, Elara's mother, had once loved a mortal herself, and it had led to heartbreak, war, and loss. She had since sworn never to let another fairy fall as she had. When she learned of Elara's secret meetings, Titanthea was furious. She summoned Elara and commanded her to end it. But Elara, with trembling voice and defiant wings, declared, "I love him. I would give up my throne for him." "You do not know what it means to love a mortal," Titanthea warned. "They fade. They forget. Their time is a candle's flicker while we are made of stars." "Then I will burn beside him," Elara whispered. The queen, furious but desperate to protect her daughter, cast a powerful spell. "If you choose him," she proclaimed, "then he shall be bound to Evermere but not as himself. His body will turn to crystal, and he will sleep for eternity beneath the glass grove, never aging, never waking, unless a love proven beyond sacrifice breaks the spell." Elara pleaded, wept, and fought the curse with all her might, but it was already done. Caelum, while waiting in the forest for Elara, felt a cold wind surround him. He looked up once more, saw her wings rushing toward him. Then he turned to glass in her arms. Evermere fell silent. Elara vanished into the woods, living among the whispers and wind, searching for a way to undo the curse. Her wings dulled, her laughter faded, and the realm forgot its joy. But time moved differently in Evermere. 100 mortal years passed, though to Elara, it felt like days blurred into nights. And then came a prophecy. It was whispered by the Wyrm of the hollow moon, an ancient oracle hidden beneath the stars. When music stirs the slumbering stone, and one dares walk the path alone, then love, if pure, may light the flame, and wake the heart that bears no name. Elara, hopeful once more, returned to the glass grove, where Caelum stood frozen, his violin still held in delicate glass hands. She sang. She whispered. She wept. But nothing happened, until a human girl appeared. Lyra, a descendant of Caelum's bloodline, had always felt drawn to the forest. One day she wandered deeper than ever before, her heart aching with a tune she couldn't name. She found the statue, and she touched it. A spark leapt through her fingers. The air shimmered, and Elara emerged from the trees, eyes wide with recognition. "His melody lives in you," Elara said, voice trembling. They sat together, Lyra and Elara, one mortal, one fairy, and Elara told her the story. Lyra listened, tears in her eyes. I don't know why, Lyra said, but I feel like I've known him forever. They played music together. Lyra on a violin she'd inherited, and Elara singing an ancient fairy lullaby. And as their song echoed through the grove, something stirred. The crystal cracked. Caelum's eyes opened. His wings, yes, wings, for the curse had bound him to Evermere, unfurled like frost melting under spring sunlight. He gasped, looking at Elara and Lyra, confusion giving way to recognition. Elara? She ran to him, tears falling freely. The curse was broken. But not by a lover's kiss alone. It was broken by love reborn, passed through blood, memory, and song. Lyra had carried the echo of Caelum's soul, and through her music, the truth of his heart was remembered. As the sound of the enchanted duet, Lyra's tender violin and Elara's soft, weaving melody, echoed through the glass grove, Caelum's crystalline form began to shudder and crack. In the silence that followed, a hushed awe fell over the grove. Time seemed to pause as Caelum's eyes fluttered open. His gaze, filled with wonder and disbelief, met Elara's tear-streaked face. The glistening shards of what had been his form coalesced into living flesh, while delicate, shimmering wings unfolded from his back like a soft sigh of wind. In that transformative moment, the very heart of Evermere beat with renewed vigor. The lingering magic of the ancient curse, once a dark interlude between love and loss, now dissolved in the luminescence of reborn passion. The revival of Caelum was as miraculous as it was bittersweet. No longer did the cruel curse bind his mortal form. Instead, a dual nature emerged, one part mortal, one part fairy. His crystalline slumber had imprinted upon him a lasting bond with the magic of Evermere. Each time the moon rose high and bathed the forest in silver light, Caelum felt a subtle surge of elemental energy stirring within him, a reminder that his love had bridged the gap between two worlds. Reunited, Caelum and Elara embraced beneath the soft glow of luminescent blossoms. Yet, with their newfound union came trials they never foresaw. The ancient laws of both realms were not so easily rewritten. Many in Evermere whispered cautiously, questioning the very fabric of tradition, while the mortal world, oblivious to its own enchantments, barely noticed the transformation taking place in the edges of their forests. Titanthea, now both mentor and mourner of past sorrows, called forth the Council of Elders, a gathering of the most ancient beings in Evermere, to deliberate the implications of Caelum's rebirth. In the hallowed halls of a crystalline cavern, beneath ceilings woven with the light of 1,000 captured stars, debates resounded in mellifluous voices. "We witness a convergence of two essences," intoned the eldest among them, a wise matriarch with wings as pale as opaline moonlight. "Yet, are we prepared for the consequences when mortal frailty mingles with immortal magic?" Caelum, though still grappling with the changes within him, stood before the council, his voice gentle but resolute. "I am not merely mortal nor solely of this fairy realm. In this unity I carry the strength of both, the hope of healing ancient wounds, and the promise of a future where love transcends all boundaries." His words, imbued with sincere conviction, stirred a cautious acceptance among the council members. Yet, a lingering concern remained. The balance of magic within Evermere was delicate, and any shift could unravel the intricate tapestry woven by centuries of tradition. In the days that followed, Caelum embarked on a journey of self-acceptance and mastery over his dual nature. Guided by the enigmatic spirit of the Wyrm of the Hollow Moon, a timeless creature revered for its wisdom, he traversed hidden groves, murky twilight ponds and ancient ruins where echoes of forgotten magic still lingered. With every step, Caelum discovered secrets about the nature of love and loss. He encountered relics that told the tales of star-crossed lovers of old, learned of forgotten spells inscribed on petal-soft parchments, and met mystical beings who lived in the interplay of light and shadow. One such encounter was with Ares, a luminous sylph with eyes reflecting the aurora, who explained, "Healing comes not from denying the fractures within, but by embracing the myriad parts of our souls. It is through this integration that true magic is born." As Caelum gained insight and strength, his relationship with Elara deepened. Their love became the gentle rhythm that guided Evermere into a renaissance of beauty and hope. Together, they journeyed beyond the protective veils of the enchanted grove, seeking unity between the diverse inhabitants of both realms. Under the canopy of an ancient oak, at the border where the mortal and fairy worlds brushed against each other like the soft meeting of twilight and dawn, they met with village elders and woodland guardians. Caelum and Elara spoke of a vision where neither realm would be separate, but instead fused into a grand tapestry of mutual respect and shared wonder. They orchestrated a great celebration, a festival of the two worlds, where mortals and magical beings mingled beneath starlit skies. Lanterns, spun from fairy silk and mortal craftsmanship, illuminated the night, each flame whispering promises of renewal and hope. Music resounded in every corner, Lyra's violin danced with the wind, and even the trees swayed in gentle applause. As the celebration blossomed, forgotten scars began to mend. Mortal hearts learned of the fragile beauty hidden in every moment of enchantment, and fairy souls discovered that the power of mortal love was as potent as the spells that bound them to eternity. But such unity was not without its challenges. Shadows, in the form of ancient grudges and unspoken fears, lingered at the edges of the gathering. Some mystics questioned whether the mingling of mortal sensitivity with eternal magic might awaken dormant forces best left undisturbed. Rumors of a hidden adversary, a dark spirit bent on restoring the old order, began to circulate among the secretive corners of Evermere. Late one moonless night, as Caelum and Elara strolled along a path lined with bioluminescent ferns, a soft, almost inaudible whisper caressed their ears. It was a warning. "Not all magic welcomes change," murmured the wind, carrying the ancient voice of the realm. Determined and unyielding, they resolved to seek counsel once again from the venerable Wrm, who dwelled in the lost caverns beneath the frozen lake of Shimmersol. The journey was perilous. They navigated treacherous marshes that tested their resilience and encountered creatures whose eyes gleamed with secrets of a bygone era. With every step, the bond between Caelum and Elara strengthened, proving time and again that their love was indeed a force capable of warding off the darkest of fears. Deep within the icebound caverns of Shimmersol, illuminated by the ethereal glow of phosphorescent crystals, Caelum and Elara finally encountered the Wrm of the hollow moon. Its scales shimmered like fragments of broken constellations, and its voice carried the weight of millennia. "You have ventured far, bearing both the warmth of the sun and the coolness of the night," the Wrm intoned, its gaze steady. "Yet heed this. The merging of two worlds may awaken that which lies dormant in the shadows. A covenant must be sealed, a promise of balance, where light does not quench darkness and love stands as a guardian to all." He unveiled an ancient rite that required both mortal and fairy to merge a drop of their very essence, a symbol of trust and the unity of both natures. With hearts pounding in unison, Caelum and Elara approached a crystal basin, its surface rippling like water under a full moon. Together, they dipped their hands into the basin, their fingers intertwining as shimmering drops of magic fused into a single radiant gleam. The ritual was transformative. As the luminous drop bathed the duo in its gentle radiance, an unseen barrier lifted, one that had kept both realms apart for centuries. In that moment, a newfound equilibrium was established. The dark whispers that once murmured of ancient resentments receded, and in their place grew a promise of reconciliation and growth. Returning to the borderlands, Caelum and Elara found that their peoples had begun to see the beauty of their union reflected in nature itself, a more vibrant bloom in the fairy gardens, a richer harmony in the mortal ballads. The festival of the two worlds became an annual celebration of not only renewal but of the delicate balance between light and shadow, life and magic. Years slipped by like petals in the wind, and under the wise guidance of the newly formed covenant, Evermere thrived in ways unseen in both realms. Caelum, with his dual essence, became a living symbol of transformation, a bridge between the fleeting passions of mortal life and the enduring mystery of the Fae. Elara, ever resilient, nurtured the gardens of magic and love, teaching younger fairies the art of harmonizing the ancient spells with modern grace. Together they traveled among both realms, healing old wounds, celebrating life's ephemeral beauty, and forging alliances that promised a future where differences were not divisions but sources of strength. Lyra, now recognized as the Muse of the Veil, continued her musical journey, carrying the legacy of Caelum's rebirth and the promise of unending love. Her every note resonated with the hope that, no matter how deep the rift between worlds, art and beauty would always find a way to mend the broken chords. In time, the story of Caelum and Elara became legend, a fairy tale whispered by the winds, sung by the streams, and celebrated in the hearts of those who dared to dream of a world united by love. Mothers told the tale to their children, and lovers met beneath the stars, their gazes reflecting the promise that love in all its forms was the most potent magic of all. On a crisp, starlit night, standing beneath the ancient oak on the border of the two realms, Caelum and Elara renewed their vows, an eternal promise to nurture the delicate balance they had fought so hard to restore. Their eyes, alight with shared memories and the promise of tomorrow, pledged that no matter the hardships ahead, their love would shine as a beacon guiding all souls toward hope and unity. In that radiant moment, the realms of mortals and fairies shimmered as one. The soft glow of the moon, the whisper of the wind, and the distant sound of Lyra's violin melded into a singular symphony, a lullaby of healing, resilience, and timeless romance. Epilogue: A Symphony of Forever. The legacy of Caelum and Elara endures in the hearts of every wanderer who dares to listen to the songs of the woods and the gentle murmurings of ancient magic. The festival of the two worlds is celebrated not only in Evermere but also in the human hearts that dare to dream beyond the ordinary. Their tale reminds us that love, when intertwined with the courage to change, can bridge the vastest chasms, mending the broken, soothing the pained, and crafting a future where every whispered promise becomes an everlasting embrace. And so, beneath the eternal gaze of the stars, where mortal dreams and fairy enchantments converge, the story of Caelum and Elara lives on, a timeless romance, a covenant of light and shadow, and a reminder that in the dance of love, every heartbeat is a note in the grand symphony of existence.